Howdy, welcome to VEDADWM, day number 25. Vlog every day about Doctor Who in November, day number 25. Why the show has lasted 50 years! 50 years, and yes, it counts, William Shatner. It counts. So I kind of just wanted to talk about why I think the show and its culture, its status, or more cult status. I preferred it when it was cult status. I sound so underground, I'm like, preferred it when it was, a cult thing. Preferred it when it was like that, but really I did. I did, and I haven't started watching until 2005. I think it's survived because people care about it. Like, it's a show that people can care about. There's, first of all, the people who made it, they cared about it enough to put their necks on the line, to fight for it, to do all that stuff. I mean, Adventure in Space and Time is basically what happened. They fought and fought for it, and it paid off. It hella paid off, boys and girls. And that kind of stuff's really. And then fans believed in it and took it on. They believed in Dalek Mania and all that kind of stuff. They took it with open arms and went, yes, we are going to embrace this. They embraced every new Doctor. It took a couple of weeks sometimes, like Tom Baker. He had a terrible reception when he started because everyone loved John Pertwee. A couple of years later, less than probably a year later, he's people's number one Doctor. It's that kind of people take into their hearts the show and they accept it and they love it for what it is, and it's also one of those rare things that loads of people. It's one of those rare things that sort of is culturally everyone knows of it. You don't have to have seen it, but you hear those words and you hear the words Doctor Who and you know that what it's about basically, or you've heard of it. It's one of those. It just sort of is culturally everywhere. I'm in New Zealand. It is one of those things that is everywhere, and it's really awesome that it's just sort of spread like that. It's not well known enough to be like, oh, everyone will talk about it, but that it's well known enough that everyone knows what it is, and that's really nice. Also, I think it's sort of a machine in a way where it influences fans to go into the industry. I think if you added up all the people who went into a job or an industry because of this program, whether it is in the sciences, in the histories, in astronomies, in any kind of media with acting and writing and directing and all that kind of stuff, there would be a ton load of people who would say, yeah, this show basically is the defining thing. There are loads of people, David Tennant said he wanted to be the Doctor. Mark Gatiss, Nick Briggs, those kind of people who were just so ingrained in it as kids, and it just creates a new generation of people who want to keep doing that kind of thing and who want to keep working on it. So basically, it's just like every generation churning out new people to work on the show. But it's through a love of it. It's not through, oh, we'll work on it. It's through a love of the show and a genuine interest in it and everything, which is really nice because shows like this should be run by fans. Like, not run exclusively by them, obviously, because fans can get very blinded. I've been talking to people about the plot holes in the 50th anniversary, or things that didn't get answered, such as the Zygon Human Treaty. I want to know how that works. I don't want to have to work it out myself. I want to know what happens. And that's just me being like, I want to know the politics of it. I'm a uni student. I need something to keep me going for 4 months. Yes. And it's good that fans love it and want to work on it and want to influence it like they've been influenced. That's the kind of thing. It's an influencing show. It's very rooted in sort of influencing people and inspiring them and making them better people. I'm going to put it out there. The show is about a guy who makes people better. and the show makes people better. It it does. It The amount of times I've seen this show has saved my life. This show has made me think differently. This show has made me better. This show has done things for me that nothing else has. It's about a guy who flies around in time and space in a police box, but he spreads betterness. He makes betterness happen, and that is something that is really beautiful and really poignant, you know. And the fact that fans and people have taken that to their hearts. They've not gone, oh, it's just another show, because it's not just another show. It's 50 years old. It it's a 50-year-old show. I don't know any other ones, but the only other one that I know of that has lasted more than 50 years is Coronation Street, and that's a soap about people with terrible lives and running around saying you cheated on blah, 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 and all having problems. This show's not about problems. It is, but it's about solving them humanely, unless you're the Eighth Doctor, or the Sixth, or the Fourth very nearly. So, I'm getting away from the point. So unless it's genocide, it's about making, finding a peaceful solution to stuff. It it's just it's got a good moral behind it, and as much as people will lambast it for only having a white guy in the lead role, or for having weird, messed up morals, or for it being an equivalent of Jesus running around, for it badly influencing people because TV badly influences people or whatever. But all those detractions that people try and say, you can't deny that the show has brought some people close together that probably couldn't, and made people's lives that probably couldn't. Graham Norton's show interview, it was beautiful because there was a guy who basically wanted David Tennant's autograph because he was getting all the Doctor's autographs on a tattoo sleeve signed and then tattooed onto him. And Jimmy Carr said, "What do you think? I've got a question. What do you think it will feel like to touch a woman?" And he said, "Well, the Dalek that you just bumped off the sofa, that's my wife." It Only in that show would a guy dressed as the Doctor getting David Tennant's signature tattooed onto him would be married to a lady who dressed as a Dalek in a Dalek dress. It's a beautiful show. I know people who have come together because of that show. I know people who have just gone aside from differences because of that show. It There would be a lot of different things in the world without Doctor Who, and that is why it has lasted. That's why it has. Yeah, that's why it survived all the Michael Grade, because he is a asswipe. Survived the finishing at the end of 26 years. Survived through all the comics, the magazines, the audios, the TV, the books, the fan-made everything. It survived because it has just influenced and inspired and created so much potential and so much from fans. If this show didn't have as good a moral and story and message and as devoted a fan base as it did, it wouldn't be 50 years old. It would have died out like every other show that just didn't have that spark that this show had, that Verity Newman saw. It wouldn't have that spark that she saw and said, yes, I believe in this. And that is the thing. People believe in the show, and that is why it survived and lasted and been just inspirational, Hell, I'd be completely different if the show wasn't around. I might not be doing what I'm doing if the show wasn't around. I don't know. That's the thing. I think it's a line from an episode, but a world without the Doctor scarcely bears thinking. Without the show around, it sounds insane, but without the show around, it would be a weird world. You know, some other show might have taken its place, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be our Doctor running around in a blue box, making people better and making the world better, making the universe better. And for that, I'm grateful and happy and thankful all for that, for the show, for everyone who has worked on it, for everyone who's influenced it, everyone who has been influenced by it. Because without that, so much would be different. And that is insane. It's bonkers. It really is. So that is why. I hope that didn't sound too, like, depressing. I didn't mean for it to come across depressing. I was trying to go for this is why it means so much to me and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. Anyway, tomorrow is going to be which TARDIS team you would travel with. I'm going to fan out to that and be like, because which TARDIS team, if you could travel with them for a day, just a day, because I want to break everyone's hearts if they were to do this and be like, one day, no. Yeah. Update on the beard. It's coming along, actually. It's still patchy, but I am considering keeping it after this. I'm probably not going to, because it hurts. It itches so bad. But you can kind of see it. It just is all there, though. That's the main problem, and I knew that was going to be the main problem anyway, but still.